site was Chicago, Illinois, and history was made. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat defeated the greatest NWA champion ever, Nature Boy Ric Flair. For the love of his family, the Dragon took the gold. Today, in a 2 out of 3 fall showdown in the New Orleans Superdome, the championship of the world once again will be on the line. Ric Flair challenges Ricky Steamboat in the Clash of Champions 6, Ragin' Cajun.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Superdome here in New Orleans, Louisiana. Jim Ross and Michael P.S. Hayes with you at ringside. We are coming to you live from the Crescent City. This is the Clash of Champions 6, the Ragin' Cajun Showdown. And we've got 10 great matches here, fans, and 5 major championships will be on the line. Hello again, everybody. Jim Ross and Michael Hayes. Michael, this is going to be one of the premier wrestling events of all time.
Brother, it is live as wire right here in the Mardi Gras City, and we going to have some tough, rough action, Jim Ross. And I predict the Nature Boy is going to bring the belt back home where it belongs.
2 out of 3 falls, the 60-minute time limit. That is one of 5 championship matches that you will be seeing here live on the Superstation. Ladies and gentlemen, all these festivities really started last night here in New Orleans, and we have a special feature that we would like for you to see. Hayes was on Bourbon Street.
That's no surprise.
That's not the feature that we're talking about. Let's show you now, last night, several of the greatest legends of the game converged here on New Orleans. Let's roll that videotape at our opportunity. There you see Terry Funk along with Lou Thez, great champions.
This is like the Hall of Fame, Jim, the who's who of wrestling.
There's Gene Kiniski and Sam Muchnick, the premier promoter of all time in the NWA. There's
Pat O'Connor,
the only man from New Zealand ever to be the world's heavyweight champion. They had a very elaborate and a wonderful dinner at Doggy's last night. And it was just a tremendous night. And Jim Herd had a statement to make to these dignitaries.
We're here tonight to pay tribute to a unique group of athletes. The former NWA champions and the longtime president of the NWA, Sam Muchnick, now retired. To Buddy Rogers and Sam Muchnick, and to Pat O'Connor and Lou Thez, Dory Funk Jr., Gene Kiniski, and the still active Harley Race and Terry Funk, welcome on behalf of World Championship Wrestling and the Turner Broadcasting System. We appreciate the legacy that you have passed on, and we promise to expend all of our energies in protecting the credibility that your hard work and sweat has established. We're not asking you to be our shield. We will have to earn our marks the same way you did. Ted Turner, Jack Petrick, and I salute you for who you are and what you have accomplished. And thank you for joining us.
Indeed, ladies and gentlemen, all those great athletes are here in the facility of ringside seats to watch this big event. Michael will be with me during the balance of our event here this afternoon. Then I'll be joined by Terry Funk. He will provide the color analyst for the World's Heavyweight Championship match. He was the first NWA champion ever to defend that coveted title right here in the Superdome in 1976. We've talked about this event, Michael. Let's show the fans now today's lineup of great NWA action. Ladies and gentlemen, it's certainly a pleasure to be back in the greatest wrestling city in the country, New Orleans, Louisiana. And at this time, we would like for you to stand and join us in the playing of our national anthem. Right after this timeout, we'll be back with our first event here on the Clash of Champions. Don't go away.
Wrestling fans, this contest is set for one fall with a 30-minute time limit. Introducing team number 1 to my left, Paul E. Dangerously presents Samu and Fatu, the Samoan SWAT team. And wrestling fans, their opponents from the dark side. Total combined weight, 470 pounds. Beautiful Bobby, Sweet Stan, the Midnight Express. And ladies and gentlemen, they are accompanied to the ring by their manager, Jim Cornette.
All right, fans, Gary Capetta has completed his ring introductions for our first event here on Clash of Champions 6. Ragin' Cajun, the bell sounds, and we are ready for action. And I know we're going to get it delivered here. These are two teams that have developed a tremendous rivalry. And to say that Dangerously and Cornette have a rivalry going, Michael Hayes, would be a gross understatement.
It sure would, Jim Ross, and I'm going to tell you right now, the Midnight Express, what they've got to do is use their speed, their agility, and ability to keep the match moving. The Samoans, on the other hand, what they have to do is cut that ring in half, keep one of the Midnight Express in their corner, and whoop on them.
It will be Samu starting out against Sweet Stan here in this tag team event. Well, what a glorious day. The legends of the game are here watching on in anticipation for the Heavyweight Championship of the World, which will be coming up later in the hour. 2 out of 3 falls. Samu starting off very quickly against Sweet Stan Lane, sends him for the ride, and football tackle, neither man going down there. Dangerously very animated at ringside, and Cornette, of course, with his tennis racket, Dangerously with his telephone. Nice tackle there by Lane, who had the momentum coming off the ropes. Great agility by Samu, and Stan Lane likewise. Oh, big first mistake of the match. Samu going for the downs there, and Lane caught him with a high cross body, near fall. 2 count there.
Well, getting right back to what I said there, Jim, the Midnight Express is a very quick team. You've got to get them down on the mat. If they keep running, it's their game.
Collar and elbow tie-up. Samu muscling Lane back into the corner. Uh-oh. Big mistake there. Sweet Stan strutting his stuff, and his quickness, as you alluded to, Michael, certainly coming to the front on that particular exchange.
Dangerously needs to call a timeout here and regroup. His team's not gotten off to a good start, and they better stop it right now. What a chop!
Big chop by Samu. Down goes Stan Lane. Scoop slam by the big Samoan. 300 pounds, tagging in his brother Fatu. Big, rough, tough team. Really, as Michael Hayes has said, they may be the team of the 90s, but it may be 1989 that they really achieved their greatness here in the NWA. Nice move by Lane. Arm drag takeover, showing great quickness. Taking the big man over, picking him up, and tagging in the high flyer from Huntsville, Alabama, Bobby Eaton. Drop toe hold. Patented tag team strategy by the Midnight Express.
Here they go, Jim, and exactly what I was talking about. It's been all Midnight Express so far, and the Samoans are going to have to bring him down to the mat. Bobby's up high, and you can't have this.
Oh, drop kick. He nailed him with it. The Midnight Express controlling the tempo here, keeping the Samoans off balance thus far in this tag team contest.
You can't let Bobby Eaton get to that top rope, Jim.
Snap mare as Stan Lane has been tagged in. Reverse chin lock. Tommy Young assigned this event. Remember, fans, 10 great matches here. We're coming to you live from the Superdome. Cornette coming around the ring in a threatening gesture to Paulie dangerously. And, whoa! Right behind.
Now that should be a DQ right there. That should be a disqualification. Come on, Tommy Young. He hit it with the tennis racket.
Indeed, he did. He nailed Sam Moon with a tennis racket. And discretion being the better part of valor, Cornette went back to the safer side of the ring.
I don't think it's so much that the racket hurt him, except maybe his pride and embarrassed him in front of this big crowd. But there's no call, no reason for that.
The Samoans trying to wrestle a quick match. They may be a mistake. With Lane and Eaton, the consummate tag team combination as far as teamwork is concerned. They do operate as one.
Come on, double team and get him out of the ring.
They certainly have the forecount. Cornette very intense. He really wants a victory here today here on national television, as does Paulie dangerously. A lot of credibility as this rivalry has really developed into something very, very physically competitive. Tag made. Midnight Express have had 6 or 7 exchanges thus far. The Samoans have had 1, and we're using that information. The Samoans, to this point, are being controlled by Bobby and Stan.
That's true, Jim, but still, at this point, the Midnight Express only got 1 cover. And that's the thing I've stated before, and I don't mean to reiterate, but when you got somebody going, especially someone of their size, you've got to go for the pinfall, because it's not going to be there the whole time. You've got to capitalize when you can. And right now, it looks like the momentum's starting to switch.
Lane sent for the ride. Nice move there. He's got him in a pinning predicament. Sam Moon in a pinning predicament there, got out at 2. And again, Lane using his quickness advantage, and dangerously is certainly not pleased with the results thus far. Now the Samoans with a double team and another tactical error as Lane definitely moved out of the way.
I think they thought they were going to outsmart him there, because the first time he ducked, they threw 1 punch, knew he was going to duck, and he ducked again. It is just not their game plan. What's going on?
Calling the Islands for a little motivation.
I'm going to tell you what, Jim Ross, this match right here would be a main event in any arena, and it's only our opening match today. That's what kind of card we have here.
Tag made. Bobby Eaton will come in. Big right hand, a Huntsville, Alabama native, really nailing his larger opponent with a straight right. High-flying Bobby Eaton and Jim Cornette joined forces in 1983. They've been together, obviously, ever since and been extremely successful in Cornette. He's challenging...
he must have a death wish.
He might have. He's challenging Fatu out there. And Sam Moon trying to take Bobby
Watch the hair.
over.
I thought I saw Eaton's hands in Samu's hair.
Samu was in the ropes. That was conclusion. Well, the fans here in the Crescent City letting Paulie dangerously know what they think of him.
And it's not favorable, I'll tell you that much right now. Jim, I'm really excited. The former NWA World Champions are here for the 2 out of 3 fall match. We've got fantastic wrestlers, including myself.
Right hand, Bobby Eaton. And that's a Sweet Home Alabama right from downtown. Reversal by Sam Moon. And Eaton, he nails it. Great strategic move. He put on the brakes and a straight right hand.
The Midnight Express has done their homework for this match, Jim. You can tell they've been reviewing tapes, because every move they're 1 ahead of the Samoans. There we go! That's the thing I was talking about. If you don't get the pinfall when you got him, you're going to be in trouble. Look at that weight.
Samu dropping it all on Sweet Stan Lane. Lane's leg is in the ropes here. And the referee, Tommy Young, calling for the break. The Samoans now, if their game plan is implemented, will slow it down, and they'll start hammering away at Eaton and Lane.
You'll notice they'll keep them in their on their half of the field. They'll cut this ring in half. Whoa! He almost slammed it through there, Jim.
Big body slam, lateral press. He got a 2 count out of it. Coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, the great Muta. So much more. Nice drop kick by Stan Lane. Good counter wrestling. He made the tag, and Bobby Eaton comes in, swinging those right hands again. Sends Samu for the ride. Or Fatu, rather.
Did you see that ring shake when he hit it? I mean, that's some poundage there.
Inside cradle. Can he hold him? He got 2 out of it. Side headlock. Beautiful Bobby with a side headlock on Fatu of the Samoan SWAT team. Tell the fans hello back in Atlanta. The NWA will be 1 week from tonight in the Omni, the wrestling capital of the world. My colleague Michael Hayes.
Now wait a minute. Wait a minute. No tag here. Jim Ross, that was a blatant infraction of the rules.
Indeed.
No tag.
Indeed it was.
No tag.
I don't think he's going to believe you, Michael. I am surprised he's letting the tag stand, but so be it. Stan Lane wrenching that headlock on Fatu. This match being broadcast, as we mentioned, live from coast to coast. Also, the fans are listening to it on the NWA Wrestling Hotline, and Lance Russell and I will be hosting a live 30-minute version, post-game version of the Clash of Champions immediately following our televised broadcast, live from here in the Superdome. Looking forward to working with wrestling's premier announcer, Lance Russell, on that broadcast. And tag made. That time it was a legal tag. Side headlock by beautiful Bobby Eaton. NWA on his way to Florida tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I got a bunch of broads waiting on me.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you do. Oh, gosh, what a ride.
They have done their homework, I'm telling you, Jim.
Cornette has really compiled a great game plan, and the Midnight Express have been able to stay 1 move ahead of their opponents.
There they go.
Tag team wrestling personified with beautiful Bobby and sweet Stan. Stan pinning predicament. He's got him pinned here. Can he hold him down? He cannot. Referee a little delayed in getting there to make the count.
Well, Bobby Eaton had been out like he was supposed to be. He wouldn't have been distracted, the referee. They might have got the 3 count.
Headbutt. Fatu down there with beautiful Bobby, whose most effective weapon thus far has been a straight right tag made. Eaton's not aware of it.
Boom!
He nailed him. He nailed him with it. Caught him right in the mouth. Eaton may have lost a tooth on that one. He grabbed his mouth there.
You ain't kidding. And Jim, I'd like to reiterate, we're live here from the Superdome in New Orleans. These are real wrestlers. They're getting down. They are under a commission. This is not no show business. These boys are slapping skin together. Look at that! What a right hand!
Big chop right above us here at ringside.
You're not kidding. This is the NWA, and we do wrestle. The tide is changing.
The big Samoan using his weight advantage on Bobby Eaton here. Now raking at his face, showing no mercy whatsoever. Raking at the face of Bobby Eaton. Gosh, what a headbutt.
You're not kidding. This has been a fast-paced match, Jim, and you're starting to see the fatigue on the guys.
Samoan with the reverse karate kick. That thrust kick, very effective, and now dangerously has things going his way. His attitude has changed, and we got 2.5.
You know, Jim, I predicted yesterday, I said if this match was to go over 10, 12 minutes, you'd almost have to favor the Midnight Express. And we're almost at that mark now.
Nerve hold in the trapezius muscles of Bobby Eaton, the big Samoan, controlling the action right now. Oh, what a day. It was great to be with Lou Thesz and Buddy Rogers, Pat O'Connor, Gene Kaninsky, the Funks, Harley Race. Greatest promoter in my mind of all time in the NWA, a man that had a major hand in forming the NWA, Sam Muchnick from St. Louis.
Yeah, but it looked like to me it was just a committee meeting so Steamboat could pick apart their brains because he's going to need all the help he can get today, baby.
Bobby Eaton back up to a fighting position and caught from behind by Fatu.
Well, what happened there, though, is he tried to hit Fatu. He was just blocking it. He was just defending himself.
Well, that's certainly one way of looking at it. I don't agree with that, but in any event, the Samoans now taking advantage of Tommy Young being detained with Stan Lane to double team, and they're doing it very effectively.
And as you notice, Jim, they have cut that ring in half now.
Eaton sent for the ride here. Big elbow. Lateral press, 1, 2, and Stan Lane coming in with a swift kick to the backside.
I've got to talk to Paul Lee about teaching them to grapevine that leg and hook it. I think he could have had the 1, 2, 3 right there if he'd have done that.
Well, it's a distinct possibility. Tommy Young there in a great position, looking eye to eye with Bobby Eaton to see if he wants to give it up. Never known of Bobby Eaton submitting in a match, and I've known him since 1983, as I mentioned earlier. When right here in the Louisiana area, the Mid-South wrestling area, the Midnight Express really gained notoriety. Jim Cornette's major thrust into wrestling was created right here, and he has really gone on to bigger and better things here in the NWA. I think Paulie Dangerously, quite frankly, is trying to clone himself in many respects after Cornette. I think there's a lot of jealousy there, quite obvious.
Wait a second, what do you mean? Who would want to clone themselves after Jim Cornette? Gosh! Blocked the hip toss and then came with a devastating right clothesline. And Paulie, you got something to strut about, brother.
Lateral press and 2. Eaton showing great tenacity, and he kicked out and came up fighting.
Bobby Eaton's a never-say-die player, Jim Ross.
Another vicious headbutt by Fatu. Now tagging in Samu, who takes over on beautiful Bobby. Tremendous right hands right to the face. Now choking. He's leaning on him too. All that weight, trying to rid him of his oxygen.
He's enjoying every minute of this. Look at his face. Whoa!
Tremendous kick right to the face. These big men are so agile. Seemingly unstoppable for that matter.
Their whole body's a lethal weapon.
Eaton now fights back with those American rights. He tags in Stan Lane. And Lane, he knows the martial arts himself, but he's got wrestling boots on. That could be a big difference in that regard. He pulls him in.
Now he may regret doing that.
Pulling Fatu in.
Here they go. Now the Midnight Express, they're in their fast break offense. SST's gonna have to stop them. They're gonna run them together.
Cracking their heads together.
Didn't even phase it. What are they doing? They're fighting each other.
The Samoans slightly deranged. What an understatement that is. But it's breaking loose here in the ring as Sweet Stan sent for the ride, and he's tripped by Dangerously.
No.
He was tripped.
No.
There's no way around it.
He tripped on his face. He's a little clumsy, and everybody knows it.
Lane, though, reversed it, trying to... Oh, yeah!
What about that?
He nailed him.
What
with
about
it.
that?
You gotta
That's the
call it like
second
you see
time.
it. You gotta call it like you see it. He did it.
That is the second time in this match he's used that tennis racket.
Lateral press by Fatu on Sweet Stan Lane.
And boy, they're rounding third and coming home now, Jim Ross.
I don't know if these managers are like to get ready to explode. At least Cornette is. I don't think Dangerously has an ample supply of intestinal fortitude. And Eaton comes in fighting once again. Man, he was in a fighting mood when he got up this morning. Can he stand toe-to-toe with this big man? That's a question.
He's rocking him.
Lane is the legal man in the ring. He's rolled out here to the apron. Fatu pushing Stan Lane back into the ring. And now he makes the tag to Fatu has been tagged. They're double teaming. They've got a 4 count.
And they go to the ends limit on it, Jim Ross.
Take advantage of the rule book at every opportunity. That's the dangerous way.
Oh, it's dangerous if somebody that you don't approve of does it. But if one of your favorites does it, it's okay.
Well, he's the manager. He's their teacher. So apparently it's his way. All right. Momentum has definitely changed here in this situation. In the early going of this contest, it was all Midnight Express. But the big Samoans have slowed it down and using their bulk and their strength advantage to control the tempo here.
That's true, and it's a feather in their cap, Jim, that when Bobby Eaton did get the tag to Stan Lane and get the fresh man in, and they started that Midnight Express fast break. The Samoans survived it and are still in.
Lane trying to fight his way up from that nerve hold. And our cameras are taking you right inside the ring here today. Great camera shots. And Eaton wants to fight. He wants to help his partner who just got a double headbutt, and that could be all for Stan Lane.
Here we go.
The end is near. One has to think, but he kicks out. Lateral press. He's trying to hold him down. Their amateur skills are virtually negligible. But they make it up, more than make up for it in other ways.
You're not kidding. Their climb to the top has been very quick.
Boy, Lane lying helplessly in the center of the ring. Now covered again by Fatu, but Lane kicks out.
See there, he was able to use his leg strength to kick out. If they'd have had the leg hook, they'd have had the pin.
He knocked Bobby Eaton off the apron, and Eaton's going to come back in and ready to fight. Again, the Samoans double team. Anytime the referee's back is turned, they are double teaming.
Sure, they should.
Count down 1, 2, and once again a near fall. A 2 count as Lane lunges out and dangerously. Nice move by Lane, going over, but he can't pull him over. Cannot pull him over. He's over 300 pounds, this big Samoan. And Lane again kicks out. How much longer can the Midnight Express hold on, specifically Stan Lane? Powerful slam, back in the power mode here.
Uh-oh. Could he be coming on with a headbutt?
He wanted to, nobody there. Lane anticipated and rolled out of the way. The native of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Look at him, he's about out on his feet. He's trying to get to the tag, Jim.
Samoans made a tag, they're legal. Eaton made a tag, he's legal. And Bobby Eaton will come in, throwing the lumber. He wanted someone dangerously. Right hand.
He better worry about the SST.
Beautiful Bobby cracking their heads together to no avail, but that is a powerful and effective maneuver. And up the top, Eaton better try to get out of the way. If he can, he does. And that would have been all she wrote, dear John. Flying headbutt by Bobby Eaton, knocking Fatu back in the corner, and catches Samu with a great neck breaker. That was perfect. Lateral press, the big Samoan in to interrupt the count, and Lane in the fight. Oh, he kicked him right in the face.
Oh no, Bobby's going to the top. This is what they couldn't allow. They're going for the rocket launcher.
Cornette's grab. Oh, Cornette and dangerously. They're hooking it up. Cornette just nailed dangerously with a right hand. Beautiful Bobby came off the top on the Samoan. Fatu's got the telephone. He just nailed him with the telephone.
Reach out and touch, baby.
He just knocked him cold with a telephone.
That's it.
And that's it.
That's it. The SST.
The SST with Dangerously's telephone.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winners of the match, Paul E. Dangerously's Samoan SWAT team.
Well, that telephone needs to be left at home. It's that conclusive, and that's the way I feel about it.
Well, nobody asked you.
Well, I'm just throwing it in.
Let's look at it here. Here they go. They're patented one of their famous finishing maneuvers, the
Rocket
rocket
launcher.
launcher. He's up high. He hits his target.
He had him beat right here.
Well, now you don't
What
know
count?
that.
1, 2, 3, 4. How much more do you want to go? Now look, he's got the telephone.
But the thing you got to keep in mind, and boom, there we go. Reach out and touch. Fatu was the legal one, not Samu, and it was their miscalculation to do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back. The great Muta in action after this timeout. I don't think any of them have been blessed with more ability and can execute more unique maneuvers than this man in the ring now with Gary Hart.
I'd have to agree with you.
Wrestling fans, the following contest, it is set for one fall with a 30-minute time limit. Introducing first in the corner to my left, Gary Hart presents, from the land of the rising sun, the Pearl of the Orient, the Great Muta. And wrestling fans, his opponent, hailing from Dallas, Texas, weighing 234 pounds, Stephen Casey.
Tremendous challenge for that young man from the Metroplex. And there you see the son of the great Kabuki, as we have been told by Gary Hart. The bell has sounded. One of the most bizarre athletes, and he goes through this meditation, a ritual, if you will, and it's as if he puts himself into a competitive trance, Michael Hayes.
Well, Jim Ross, I don't know if it's that bizarre. It may be to you because maybe you're not used to really concentrating on something, but the guy's here to make money, and now's the time to put it all in gear, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Well, you know, back up in Westfield, Oklahoma, we didn't see too many folks like this right here, to be honest with you.
Back in Westfield, Oklahoma, you probably didn't see much of anything. And, you know, speaking of the Superdome, Jim, being here and being that I still do hold the attendance record here, but I tell you what, it may be in jeopardy today with this tremendous crowd we have on hand.
Great crowd on hand, beautiful day outside here in New Orleans, and man, there it is.
Oh, what a mistake by Casey. He rushed him and he got it. Now his vision has got to be impaired right there.
And he doesn't need any disadvantages with this man. This, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the most talented athletes I have ever seen. The great Muta he knows no fear. Talk about death-defying moves. He is uncanny, and he is undefeated also in the NWA.
Here he comes with that handspring elbow. That move that Casey did when he rushed him there, that was a do-or-die move. If he'd have done it successfully, everybody thought he was one of the smartest guys around. It didn't work, though. And now he's in a reverse chin lock, and look at the eyes. The concentration. Gary Hart has got him a Pearl of the Orient is exactly right.
Muta controlling Stephen Casey's side headlock. Casey shoots him off for the ride. Nice tackle by the man from the Rising Sun. Great agility. Oh, good move by Casey. Great arm drag takeover and a leg drop right on the bicep.
Great snap arm drag off the rope. Not an easy move to execute.
Nice move. Casey now being backed into the corner. Very dangerous position with Muta.
Got to watch his feet. Oh! Jumped up double mule kick.
Standing position.
And I'm going to tell you, you talk about it, Stephen Casey's got quite a following since he's joined the NWA here. But I don't know. Look out!
He's on the top turnbuckle. Gary Hart standing over Casey, and Hart is easing back into the ring.
What a compassionate man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh, there was no compassion there. He drop kicked him right off the top rope.
Boy, did it snap his neck.
I don't know the significance. He puts his fingers in his mouth. I would like for someone to explain the significance of that to me.
Well, just kind of the same way when a pitcher, between each pitch, and he rubs the ball on his shoulder form and in his mouth and all that. Actually, it's really none of your business.
Well, I'm going to ask Gary Hart sometime.
Well, why don't you do that?
I'm going to. I'm intrigued about this athlete. No one has been able to even come close to pinning this man since his debut in the NWA. And now he's got a wrist lock on Stephen Casey. I'll tell you something, his high-flying moves remind me of the new television champion, the Stinger. They have several like moves as far as coming off the top rope, and their agility is concerned. And we'll see Sting defend his TV title for the first time on national television today.
Oh, what a ham.
Casey with a wrist lock.
I'll tell you this, Casey, he will not quit.
They don't call him Chopper for nothing.
That's right, affectionately known as Chopper. And as I started to say, he's got quite a following here in the NWA since joining in January. Good reversal to the leg.
Single leg pickup now, stretching that hamstring out. his quickness and his ability to rise to another level is just unbelievable. He's graced with tremendous talents, and with Gary Hart's so-called motivation and teaching, spinning leg lock.
Spinning toe hold. Is he good? Could have a submission right here. I think Casey's close to giving it up.
He's wrenching back on the leg. That's certainly going to lessen Casey's mobility. Ladies and gentlemen, tremendous challenge coming up. Uh-oh. It's almost a version of the Indian deathlock. Dude knows something about Indians coming from Oklahoma.
I'll bet you do. And you know, we were just talking, there he goes again to the eyes.
So the nerves, I mean, it's like in the temple region, those pressure points, so painful, and he's got so much strength in his hand. And right to the trapezius muscle.
You know, Jim, I was talking earlier about the attendance record. There was one man that shares that with me, and that's the guy I faced here some 9 years ago, and he's coming up next, and he's going to have the match of his life. And I'm talking about the Junkyard Dog against my man, Hacksaw Butch Reed.
Certainly appreciate you fans being with us here on the Superstation. Oh, gosh, what a kick. Man, he spun in midair and just tattooed Casey right in the face. And Casey once again being punished.
Whoa, going right to the... Now, he might have a little bit of trouble getting here because Casey does have big lat muscles. He might have been better off to stay up around the neck. So he had to go in and get a grip again.
The Japanese showing this. He's hard to prepare for another athlete because his style is so unique.
5 minutes.
He's still wrenching down on it, still to come. As Michael Hayes mentioned, Junkyard Dog and Hacksaw Reed, Dick Murdoch and Bob Orton. The Road Warriors, Dr. Death and Mike Rotunda for the World Tag Team Championship, our first of 5 title defenses here live this afternoon. And Casey is fighting back. The youngster from Texas has got a lot of heart. He missed with that kick, and Casey...
Good clothesline!
Casey caught him. And now that may be the break that he needs.
Gary Hart looks a little concerned over there in the corner. I don't think he expected that from Casey.
Casey backing Muta into the rope, sends him for the ride. Nice elbow, down goes.
And he's got the leg hooked.
Only got a 1 count out of it.
That's right. Good drop kick. He's got to stay on him. Muta can come out of anywhere with any move. Casey bails him out of the corner, Jim.
Casey brought him out of the corner. Now Casey's showing some fire, but he made a big mistake there. Went for a high-risk maneuver, the drop kick. Did not go to the pay window on that one.
No, and I bet you he's got a bruised knee from that. Slow to get up.
Muta with a big chop. Casey fights back with an American right. Oh, what a spinning reverse kick. Tremendous move there. What?
No!
Oh, he's over the top rope. Ooh, what a move. All the way over the top rope.
Look at the concentration, Jim. A flying body press. You've got to be able to concentrate to hit a man out on the concrete floor with that.
And now Casey is in dire straits here.
Into the railing.
Muta sends it to the railing.
Watch this. Whoa! This man has no regard for his body, much less his opponent's.
Brings Casey back into the ring by the hair. What a phenomenal move this man has made here in the NWA. Leaping back into the ring.
I wonder if we're going to see that phenomenal. This could be it. Could this be the backflip off the top? The only man in professional wrestling to execute a move anything like this. There he goes.
Boom. Wow, gosh almighty, what a move. A blind 360.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, the Great Muta.
He remains undefeated, ladies and gentlemen. This man has got to be considered a bona fide contender for any championship available in the NWA.
I love it. He is evil.
We're going to take another look at one of the most death-defying moves in the sport today.
Here he is, and it's a high-risk move at that, Jim Ross, because if he doesn't turn the complete revelation at 360, he could knock himself out. Here he goes. He gets his balance, goes back almost like a diver. Look at the body control, the head right in there. And obviously the impact is well enough to get the 3 count.
The most talented Oriental wrestler that I personally have ever seen in fans, the Junkyard Dog and Hacksaw Butch Reed renew a New Orleans rivalry in just one moment. And we're back here, ladies and gentlemen. We await the arrival of the Junkyard Dog and Hacksaw Butch Reed. JYD's got quite an entourage with him.
Well, it'll take that many of his friends to beat Hacksaw Butch Reed today right here in the Superdome.
JYD surrounded by his people. He loves this city.
Oh, he's a ham to show off.
I'll mention that to him the next time all three of us.
Well, you just do that, okay? What for me, his career wouldn't even have a second life. I suggested this band for him.
Yeah, you look like you've got a great deal in common with that guy holding the umbrella.
Yeah, he opened for me in Nigeria.
I want to remind everyone that 1 week from tonight, as JYD makes his way to the ring, that he will be on a super card in the Omni 1 week from tonight.
That's right, brother. Right at home 1 week, and first time ever, the Nature Boy and PS on the same side.
It's going to be something, fans. 1 week from tonight in the Omni in Atlanta. Of course, as JY comes to the ring, this is vintage New Orleans, and we will be in the Sunshine State of Florida. NWA tomorrow.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, all those girls along the eastern Florida coast, I want you to know that my plane lands about 1 o'clock tonight in Orlando. So if you want to get an early start on PS, be there tonight. And, you know, I think all these guys have had one too many to drink is what happened. They just took the wrong turn at St. Charles Street.
They may have been out at Pat O's till it closed this morning. Had a few dozen hurricanes.
No, they weren't. I was there till it closed.
Well, quite a procession going here. Little New Orleans and Bourbon Street brought inside the Superdome here. And a big Junkyard Dog up on the apron. He's fired up and ready to go.
You know, they're not a bad band. In fact, they tried out for my band, but I just couldn't use them.
Decided not to use a horn section, huh? We do want to say hi to the fans, as we mentioned, in Daytona Beach, where the NWA with a great card tomorrow night. This Tuesday night in West Palm Beach, Florida. Wednesday night in Miami Beach. Thursday night in Jacksonville.
And you know what? I have full intentions. I'll tell you and the whole nation listening right now, I'm going to get a hold of Luger down in Florida. And I might just slap that little smirk right off his face.
Well, hey, he's going to be out here later to defend the U.S. title.
Yeah, but I'm not going to interfere. I already made a promise to Uncle Ted. And as my contract states, when I'm broadcasting, I will not interfere as long as nobody interjects anything my way. And I don't. If I have to defend myself, it's another story.
As long as you're not provoked. Also, fans, we want to say hi to the great fans up in the northeastern part of the United States.
New Haven.
All the fans in Connecticut that are watching the program. And, well, we know we've got a lot of great fans in Connecticut. Stamford, all around that area. And, of course, the big event this Saturday night is Hacksaw Butch Reed. The Brick House makes his way to the ring with Mr. Matsuda. This Saturday night, big event in New Haven, Connecticut. To my knowledge, the first time for the NWA in New Haven. And what a card this Saturday night. We want to welcome all the fans to join us there. And we talked about rivalries. We know that Flair and Steamboat coming up is a tremendous rivalry. The Varsity Club and the First Family have a great rivalry. But this rivalry with Hayes and, Michael, with JYD and Reed goes back a long time. But right now, let's go up to Gary Capetta and the introduction.
Wrestling fans, the following contest, it is set for one fall with a 30-minute time limit. Introducing first in the corner to my left, he is accompanied at ringside by his manager, Hiro Matsuda. Ladies and gentlemen, from Kansas City, he weighs 257 pounds, Hacksaw Butch Butch Reed. And wrestling fans, his opponent from Charlotte, North Carolina, weighing 307 pounds, the Junkyard Dog.
What an ovation for the Junkyard Dog. He made this place rock and roll on many occasions. And both these guys are backgrounds. They come from the streets. They both got college scholarships to play football. They educated themselves through their athletic abilities. They both played pro football. J.Y. with the Packers, Reed with the Chiefs. They are no strangers to each other, and their situation has really never been settled.
That's true. This is, you talk about great rivalries. This is like USC and UCLA, Texas and Texas Tech. And here they go.
J.Y.D. with a big right hand, backs Reed up, sends him for the ride, and he nailed him. Junkyard Dog with a big soup bone right in Reed's face. And it's Reed who's got his right hand heavily taped because he likes to use that big soup bone as well.
Yeah, but he didn't use it there, and Junkyard Dog was the first one to throw a punch, and Teddy Long needs to get on him. There's my boss, Mr. Matsuda.
Teddy Long, a great official here in the NWA, signed this event. Certainly don't envy him getting between these two big monsters. Reed, very cautious to lock up with a powerful Junkyard Dog. Because, Michael, as you know so well, every dog needs a bone to chew on.
And what are you trying to imply there?
I'm trying to imply, I hope you mind your manners here. I just don't want to cause a scene here with you and JYD for any reason. Off the ropes they go. Nobody giving an inch.
You can't knock Hacksaw down, boy. What's the matter with you?
Reed leapfrogging. Oh, that'll put you down. The headbutt. JYD with another headbutt.
Look at this, silly dog.
Hey, I don't know if his house broken, but he just knocked Reed plumb out to all the way out to the floor.
We need a timeout here. We need to slow this action down because it's not starting out the way we want it. And with all these fans behind the dog, this is his home.
JYD, quite some time, lived in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, when he was campaigning here in the Mid-South area. Now, making his residence. He's got two residences, as a matter of fact. He's a successful dog. He's got two dog houses, one in Charlotte and one in Atlanta. Youngster painting his face, a la the Warriors and the Stinger. Reed.
Now, this is a smart maneuver here. It's not to the pleasure of the fans, but he's calling off the momentum.
Reed finally makes his way back into the ring, and JYD patiently waiting. He's got his right hand clenched. Reed as well.
Now, Butch is trying to lull him into the corner. I can see it in his eyes.
Wrist lock there by Junkyard Dog. And Reed is etched. And he's spent a lot of time in the weight room. He's a phenomenal athlete.
He sure is. And another thing you got to keep in mind is Hacksaw here, he's got a lot more wrestling ability than Junkyard Dog ever thought about. The dog may be able to go toe-to-toe with him with the punches and the brute force, but Butch is an exceptional wrestler, too, and can get to the top rope and fly off of it. You know that yourself, Jim.
He certainly can. Reed burying the knee into the midsection of the Junkyard Dog. Another big right hand. And Reed follows it up. Man, those soup bones are connecting on the face of the Junkyard Dog. Brings him out, and Dog puts on the brakes and reverses Reed with a nice hip lock. Gets him coming in.
Wait, he's got his hands in his trunks. Come on, referee.
Scoop slam.
Both maneuvers there, the reverse hip toss and the body slam. He's using the trunks.
And he pulls him out. He won't sprain any ankles where he landed.
Come on, Butch. Come on, there, his hands in the hair.
He's not pulling it, Michael. Oh, right in the face with a headbutt.
That's the girl I was going to set you up with.
Pass.
Now look at that. Now, is that a choke or is that a choke?
Sure looks like a choke from here. Looks like a rake of the eyes as well.
Well, he had no alternative.
Well, I want to tell you something. Both these guys will just soon fighters wrestle anyway, the truth be known. As you mentioned, scientific wrestling is not JYD's forte. Fighting is what he likes to do, and Reed is a master of throwing that big right hand.
Now that Butch has got him down, he's got to capitalize on it.
Side headlock by Reed. Looked like he jabbed the thumb right into the throat.
No. Just an open hand chop.
To the right, and down goes JYD. It was a straight right hand by Reed. Stomping JYD in the chest now. And getting some added momentum
Atta, baby.
from the ropes. Reed with the right hand to the side of the dog's face.
Pounding that jaw. See that jaw shake every time he hit him?
He was pounding him. Reed has never been popular in this facility.
Go, Butch!
Reed kicking dog right in the side of the head, follows up with a knee. Drapes him over the ropes.
Cutting that wind off.
I gotta think this match will be in Reed's favor if it goes 15 or 20 minutes. JY likes to put him away early.
It sure would.
And look at Matsuda. He's not massaging his neck. He's not an Oriental chiropractor. He's interfering.
He's trying to help him get back in the ring.
Yeah, that's your buddy there.
That's right. And I'm going to go out on a limb right now and say that I predict every one of the Yamasaki Corporation wrestlers will win today. It's going to be a clean sweep for us. Go, Butch, out of baby. He's in. He's going.
Reed drops the elbows of the dog, and JY just barely kicked out. Long almost came down for number 3. Oh, look at the shoulder, the definition of Hacksaw Reed as he just squeezes and crips the neck of the Junkyard Dog and controlling the tempo here.
And you know, this isn't no new look for Butch Reed. He has looked this way all his career. The man has been a tremendous athlete his whole career, stays in the gym, does a lot of running too. Now what he's got to do is not let the crowd get into this match. He's done a good job of keeping them out so far, but this is the Dog's home, and they're starting to get in it now. He can't let it affect him. He's got to keep him down.
This is the Dog's Yard right here in the Superdome in New Orleans. We're coming to you live.
Live as wire, baby.
This is the Clash of Champions 6 Raging Cajun. Jim Ross and Michael Hayes with you here at ringside, and as I mentioned earlier, I'll be joined for the World's Heavyweight Championship match by the first NWA champion to ever defend the coveted title from the NWA, Terry Funk.
And does he or does he not look better than ever, Terry Funk?
It's going to be certainly a thrill for me. He's one of my all-time favorites.
Now here goes the crowd. That's what. Come on, Butch, hang on. Do not let them affect you. Don't listen to them. You got to block them out. You've got to concentrate. And not that I need to tell him any of these things because he's a polished athlete, he knows it. But sometimes in the heat of battle, you can't think that clearly, Jim Ross.
Dick Murdoch and Bob Orton coming up next.
Whoa, that'll be a match.
Downstairs goes the Dog. He's up fighting, big right hands. Not a lot of strategy, but a lot of force. The Dog likes to fight, and he just reverse screens, sends Reed for the ride, and he elevates the Hacksaw from Kansas City, Missouri, originally from Warrensburg, Missouri. Lateral press, he got a 2 count out of it. Reed's in for the ride, JYD, and both of them nailed each other. You can hear the smack of the flesh on that one. Teddy Long exercising a 10 count here in the NWA. These matches sanctioned by the Louisiana State Athletic Commission.
Come on, Butch, that's right. We are under Athletic Commission because we're real wrestlers. Come on, Butch, he's going up to the top. Here we go, Jim. Oh!
Reed was met by the big right hand of the Junkyard Dog coming off the ropes. Snap mirrors him over, misses with a headbutt.
Boy, the pace is really picking up now, and I have to agree with you. If it keeps at this rate, you got to know Hacksaw's going to take it. Maybe the flying tackle. Take her home, Butch. Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
that's it.
He turned JYD
Ring the bell.
up over, and JY's foot there on the rope. Referee sees it. He'll call for the break.
That saved him.
Well,
I think the momentum from the football tackle knocked him in that position. He didn't do that on his own. Come on, atta baby, Butch.
they're out fighting again. Matsuda has no business on the ring apron. Get him down, ref.
Look out!
Oh, Reed just nailed Matsuda. JYD for the
Come on,
cover.
no!
Yeah.
No!
Junkyard Dog in the backyard with a victory.
I don't believe it.
JYD, ladies and gentlemen, continuing his winning ways here in the Superdome. He's got to have one of the best one-loss records in this building of any athlete that we know. We'll take another look at him. Matt Sudis, if he would have been down minding his own business.
Well, he was trying to get down. The referee was keeping him up there.
Yeah, Teddy Long, all 130 pounds, is going to hold him there. He's not.
See, he's holding him right there. See, he's got his hand.
Tell him to sit down. That's what happens when you interfere. And what happens is it costs Butch Reed a victory.
Cost him a lot of money, too.
Matt Suda being there cost him a victory. Ladies and gentlemen, the next one should be a dandy. Dick Murdoch and Bob Orton are coming up next. Don't you go away.
Wrestling fans, the following contest, it is for the United States Tag Team Championship. It is set for one fall with a 1-hour time limit. Introducing first the challengers to my left, members of the Varsity Club, total combined weight, 524 pounds. First from Singapore, Games Master, Kevin Sullivan. His tag team partner from the University of Georgia, Dangerous Danny Spivey. And ladies and gentlemen, their opponents, they are the United States Tag Team Champions, the first family of professional wrestling, accompanied to the ring by the First Lady of Professional Wrestling, Missy Hyatt. The champions, first from Tennessee, Hot Stuff, Eddie Gilbert. And his partner from Detroit, Michigan, Rick Steiner.
United States Tag Team Championship will be the prize in this one. Well, we don't have Teddy Longfish yet. We've got Tommy Young up there. And the Varsity Club attacking Sullivan. They knocked Steiner all the way out to the floor here. And Spivey with a side slam on Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert to get it going. Could it be over right here? I don't understand that, Michael.
I don't either. I think he could have had the pinfall if he'd have break around the leg. Looked like he didn't want it at that point. They're starting off quick. And Gilbert's in trouble right here in the opening minute of the match.
Tremendous size differential here. It doesn't make Gilbert a lot of difference, but could be a major factor in this match. And Gilbert's back, the object of the attack by the Varsity Club thus far. You know that they want to keep Steiner out of the ring for as long as they possibly can.
Look at that.
Big slam by Dan Spivey. He's about 6'6", 300 pounds. Missy Hyatt was looking on with a great deal of anxiousness. Sullivan and Gilbert have had some brawls. Sullivan's got his right hand heavily.
Here comes Steiner. There wasn't a tag.
Threw Gilbert over the top rope, all the way out to the floor. Big chop there. Sullivan with that taped right hand. He likes to fight. I'll tell you, he's a conniving individual. Gilbert punished on the outside. His back rammed into the ring post.
Sullivan is a genius. He knows he's got Steiner's number, knows how to aggravate him, knows that he's not all there, if you know what I mean. And they are pummeling Eddie Gilbert.
Gilbert was attacked from behind to get this thing started.
Well, he should have been looking at his old lady.
Headbutt by Sullivan. Sullivan back in his hometown, or where he's residing now, Daytona Beach.
We'll be there tomorrow night.
Indeed we will.
I don't know if Eddie Gilbert will, though. He's taking a tremendous beating.
He's fighting back, and Spivey, big shortcut there, rakes the eye, sends Gilbert for the ride.
Whoa, what a clothesline.
Big clothesline by Spivey. Yes.
It just doesn't look like he's really going for the pin. It looks like he wants to abuse Gilbert. And I'm telling you, if Sullivan and Spivey can pull this one off, the Varsity Club is definitely going to have a monopoly on the tag team situation in the NWA.
Gilbert tied upside down. Sullivan likes this. He's been tagged in.
Here he goes. This is when he goes nuts. He loves this.
The coach of the Varsity Club, Gilbert, trying to free himself, and he does it, and Sullivan couldn't stop the momentum. Knee ramming into the middle turnbuckle, but Gilbert is still in big trouble as Sullivan.
He needs to make a tag.
And Spivey, the legal man, and the dog-faced gremlin. Rick Steiner in there. He'll go power with the big clothesline. And Spivey, at 300 pounds, is put on his back. He's like a pit bulldog, this Steiner. Hometown of Bay City, Michigan originally. Big power slam. Takes him the complete 360 into the lateral press. Tommy Young got a 2 count out of that one.
Not enough to keep the big man down.
Right hand. He blocked it. Nice belly-to-belly suplex by Steiner. Sullivan kicks him in the head. Gilbert's in there. Knocks Sullivan backwards. And Gilbert just kicked from the back. Knocked outside.
Now here's where a lot of the problems has been. Sullivan distracted by Missy Hyatt. Did you see that?
They're all outside. Here comes Sullivan. Gilbert's got Missy's purse. The Gucci bag, and he just nails Sullivan in the midsection with it. Inside cradle. Gilbert's got him, and he holds him down. The Gucci bag didn't come into play. And the Varsity Club go down to the champions. Steiner kicked outside. We were going to a commercial break. We're running short on time, but Sullivan with those fist tape is trying to brutalize Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. Gosh, they're trying to break him in half. Steiner kicked outside again. Sullivan, the right hand heavily taped, and he is just pummeling this youngster from Lexington, Tennessee. Sullivan trying to shut Gilbert's eye.
They're busting it.
Here comes Steiner with a chair. Gilbert's eye has been busted open. Sullivan with a tape fist that proved very effective. Let's get out of this situation. Missy Hyatt very concerned, but we'll be right back. Here, and we had originally scheduled for this Lex Luger U.S. title defense against Jack Victory. Because of the magnitude of this event and it being 2 out of 3 falls with a 60-minute time limit, we wanted to give, obviously, the match that everyone came to see ample time. Nature Boy Ric Flair, the challenger for the heavyweight championship. Remember, it's 2 out of 3 falls with a 60-minute time limit. I hope that Terry Funk will be able to join me here at ringside. He is in the facility, and I do expect him here at ringside in the next few moments. Here comes the Nature Boy. Another beautiful robe. Well, this one is going to be a classic. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and family making their way to the ring. Steamboat won the world's title on February 20th in Chicago, Chi-Town Rumble. Flair, if he wins it back today, will tie Lou Thesz, who is obviously here in the audience, as the only 2 men to win it 6 times. I guess 3, considering obviously Harley Race has been a 7-time champion. motivation is in his arms right now, the little dragon. Let's go now, ladies and gentlemen, to Gary Capetta and the introductions of the main event.
Wrestling fans, the following contest, it is for the World Heavyweight Championship. It is set for the best 2 of 3 falls with a 1-hour time limit. Introducing first the challenger to my left from Charlotte, North Carolina, weighing 245 pounds. He has held the World Heavyweight Championship on 5 different occasions. Nature Boy, Ric Flair. And ladies and gentlemen, the champion from Hawaii, weighing 238 pounds, he is the World Heavyweight Champion, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here at ringside, and I'm very honored and privileged to have a man that I've admired for quite some time. The man, the first NWA World's Champion to defend his title here at the Superdome. I want to welcome Terry Funk to our broadcast. And Terry, this is a long way from West Texas. This is a long way from, I remember officiating one of your championship matches years ago, but really do appreciate you to be here.
Well, it's a pleasure being here, and to be here for a match like this with this kind of importance to it, I wouldn't be anywhere else in the world, because this is the premier wrestling championship, the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. Lou Thesz was here today, all of the greats from the past, Gene Kiniski, Buddy Rogers, and now we're seeing the 2 finest wrestlers in the country today out there right now, Steamboat and Flair.
All right, fans, the collar and elbow tie-up, and Steamboat pushes Flair back into the... Steamboat will not be intimidated by the Nature Boy. And I want to add that my colleague, who we have not seen a great deal of here, we hope to be seeing more of him, is not retired from active competition. So I know that you're in great shape.
Well, whenever you see a slap like that by Steamboat there, it makes you wonder if you should retire or not, Ross.
Flair and Steamboat sizing each other up. 2 out of 3 falls is this World's Heavyweight Championship event. 60-minute time limit.
2 out of 3 falls is an important determining factor there. Flair, if he can catch that first fall, you know that he will no longer be the contender. He will be the champion once again. You know that, Mr. Ross?
In theory, you're exactly right. There's no doubt. Flair behind Steamboat trying to ride him. Steamboat sets out. Goes behind. Exchanging amateur moves here. Flair reaches for the ropes and gets to the corner where Tommy Young will call for the break-in. Steamboat popped it.
Just retire me now after watching that one.
You know, I mentioned that Flair defeats Steamboat today to become a 6-time champion, Terry, that he will tie Lou Thesz, who is here as the 6-time champion. Harley Race is here watching on with all the other dignitaries. Race is 7 times champion. So Flair's really has put himself in fast company through his efforts over the years, and this is going to be a great test. He feels like the title is still his.
Yes, he does. And, you know, he's got to carry the fight to Steamboat at the start of this match. He really does. He has to establish himself early.
Overhand wrist lock by Nature Boy Ric Flair. Steamboat trying to turn away from the pressure, but Flair not allowing him to do that. And Flair using a nice wrestling move right in the back of the leg to take him down, Terry.
Nice move to gain the advantage right there. Overhead wrist lock. You can see Flair as he's trying to get that left arm working, and he wants to work on it and continue working on it. If I was in that ring right now, that's what I would try to do. I'd try to establish a weak point. I think that's what Ric Flair is doing right now.
Select a body part and continue to attempt to work on it. I know that was one of your great fortes. Flair trying to maintain the advantage here, but Steamboat has got a little underneath there, got some leverage, and Flair about to go down, and Steamboat with the advantage, but Flair very quickly goes to the ropes, which will necessitate a break. Flair challenging Steamboat.
He was. He was challenging him. He's just trying to intimidate him. Now he's claiming that it was Steamboat using the hair right there. It might have possibly been. He might have grabbed that hair. I couldn't see the other side right there.
Not a good eye from this position. Boy, both these guys, Terry, are in phenomenal condition. I don't know any other athletes competing for a major championship that are in better condition than Ric Flair and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat on April the 2nd.
Well, they realize the importance of the match. You know, there couldn't be any better time for Ric Flair to come back to prove that he's not on the downhill side of his career. And whenever I say that, I'm talking about just like the San Francisco 49ers, Joe Montana and Steve Young. You know how that deal went. Steve Young got in there. He thought he had a job. He thought he moved out the old pro in Montana, but it didn't work out that way. Montana came back and did better than ever. And I'm anxious to see if Flair can do the same, Jim.
A lot of mental games being played right now. As Terry Funk mentioned, fans, and we'll reiterate, this is 2 out of 3 falls with a 60-minute time limit. The first fall is so pivotal in this contest. They're back on the ropes there. Steamboat muscling Flair back on the ropes. Tommy Young, who signed this very important event. I don't know if that was a clean break or not in any events. Nice football tackle by Flair. Flair goes to the ropes on the other side. Hip locked over by Steamboat. Steamboat very quickly now with the advantage side headlock. Flair down.
Get your shoulders up, Flair. You're going to lose a quick one.
Oh, that was quick. That would have been a shocker.
That was a great job by the referee there. Those shoulders were flat on the mat, and that's exactly where he should be, is right down there trying to get that 3 count.
We've had a controversial decision. 2 count again, and he rolls him over on his shoulders one more time. I can't see if he's got the tights or not from where I am. It would appear not. Steamboat, a proud son of Hawaii.
Steamboat's cranking down on that headlock right there. If you see, he's grabbing all the leverage that he can get.
Steamboat up to a vertical base. He's got the leverage advantage now. Now Flair is back on his feet. Flair, nice forearm there. Right to the ribs. Shoots Steamboat off. Big tackle. Steamboat puts Flair down. And right down.
Oh, nice move.
Nice counter move. Flair was thinking one way, Steamboat another, and Steamboat dropped right down and took the advantage again.
You know, if you talk about these two fellas right here, you're going to talk about what is their differences, what's better about one and the other. It's the strength. You can't compare that one against the other. It's very close, very similar. The size is very similar. What comes into the big effect right here is attitude. Which one has the best attitude for this match today?
Watching up, there they are, right above us. Referee calling for the break. They're dangerous in this position. Downstairs in the tackle.
Whoa!
Gosh, what a chop. Man, that sends chills up my spine.
Whoa!
Another chop.
That crossed Steamboat's eyes that time.
They're so physical in this move right here. Now they're kick to the road. Steamboat fighting back.
This match is becoming physical real fast. We might have a fall here very soon. Here comes Steamboat beeling him out. What's going to happen right now? Flying head scissors. We might catch a fall here right quick, Jim.
Steamboat going upstairs with the aerial attack on Nature Boy Ric Flair. Side headlock takes him back over. He's keeping him down. You got to keep that shoulder up. Flair almost pinned there. I tell you, Steamboat's keeping Flair off balance. He goes to the headlock. He goes upstairs with some aerial maneuvers. He goes back to the headlock. It's keeping Flair kind of off balance, it would seem.
I think it absolutely is.
Steamboat front face up. Back. That's a hard cross face there, Terry.
You bet. If you watch this match, both of them know the importance of winning. So therefore, they're watching their illegal tactics because they know that the referee will get on them. I haven't seen one illegal move on either.
No, I have not. Steamboat just dropped a knee right to the back of Flair's head that drove his face into the canvas.
Another driving knee.
Tremendous move there. Snapmare coming up. Steamboat takes him over. Right now, Terry, Steamboat who certainly realized the importance of dominating the first fall, is doing just that as the champion. Pushes Steamboat back into the corner.
I can't get him up until you let him go. All right, Flair, step back.
See, we get a clean break here, Jerry. They're right above us again.
All right, step back.
Looks like it's
One.
looks like it's going to be a clean break.
Can't get up. One. I'm out. I'm out. All right.
Elbow right to the ribs. Oh, gosh, man, that
Another one right back.
and retaliation by the champion. Tremendous chops by both men. Steamboat sends him for the ride. High elevation.
Beautiful backdrop by Steamboat there. Steamboat needs to get on him right now. He needs to be more aggressive, Jim.
Nice drop kick by Steamboat, lateral press. He's got the leg grapevine, and Tommy Young with a near fall. He was coming down for number 3 there.
He was.
Flair trying to stop the momentum here. This may be a mistake by Steamboat. What do you think?
That's exactly what it is. He's trying to stop the momentum right now, and that's exactly what he's doing.
He's succeeding in what he set out to do.
He has succeeded.
Flair back up to his feet.
10 minutes run by, 10 minutes.
Flair is really doing the right thing here. He's calling Steamboat into him. Nice move by Ric Flair right there. That was a legal kick that time. Double Steamboat right over, Jim. Now that was a fist, Jim Ross.
Sure was.
That was a closed fist.
Great right hand. Fans, we realize that our television championship and our United States Heavyweight Championship matches, they will be standby situations. There you go.
There's a roll-up right there. 1, 2.
Big clothesline by Steamboat. Man, this is nonstop action. High headlock takes him over. That's about the 3rd time that he's come within a half a count of pinning Flair with a headlock. And who would have thought that?
I can't understand it. Flair better watch that count.
Steamboat's got the side headlock. Boy, look at those legs. He's got his legs spread for great leverage. Great distribution of his weight there down on Flair's neck and shoulders.
Driving back into that front face lock.
A lot of fans don't realize that's one of those painful holes in wrestling.
Watch this now. Steamboat will probably, whenever he gets him more down a little bit more, he'll chicken wing him and try to take him over to his back. Start getting that pinning count. The fans are chanting right now, aren't they?
Front face lock, and they lock this Steamboat. Steamboat drops a knee. He's methodical. He's picked out a body part, seeming to be on his neck. Great crowd here in the Superdome. Certainly an honor to be with the former champions, including my colleague Terry Funk, his brother, and so many of the others we mentioned and talked about last night. Shot by Steamboat on Flair. Flair's in big trouble. He's pushing him back. Flair's got moxie. Boy, he's mentally tough.
Look at him. Oh! Steamboat in there for a pin again.
Close. Lateral press got him a 2 count. And Steamboat down on both knees, just looking Flair in the eye for a moment. Comes right back to a side headlock. Boy, this has got to take Flair off balance, because Steamboat's known for his aerial tactics off the top rope, coming in with his headlock. Inverted atomic drop. That'll send you to the chiropractor in a hurry.
You bet it will. Double Steamboat right over.
Takes away the momentum.
Right up to this point, Jim, I'm going to have to give my nod to Ricky Steamboat. I think he's dominated this match. Caught Flair with another big chop. There's a 2 count. Back into that headlock, Jim. He's hanging on to it. Nice tackle. Cover. He's in there again. Got that leg grapevine. Not quite long enough, though. Another tackle.
2 and almost.
He's coming at him again, the drop down.
He's got the momentum now on his side. He sends Flair for the run and a big double chop.
One.
Kicked out again, near fall. Fans, as we mentioned, due to our commercial commitments, the television championship and the United States heavyweight championship, of course, featuring Sting and Lex Luger respectively, will be standby matches, and if we have time, we will certainly bring those to you. However, obviously, this match is of utmost and the most important. It's the most important match in wrestling today or any other time. And
in wrestling. I'm glad you mentioned that, Jim, because that's exactly what it is. The most important match in wrestling for the most important title, the NWA World Championship. And you people out there, don't forget it.
Also, fans, I do want to remind our television audience that if time permitting, we are not able to bring those 2 matches to you, we will be bringing them to you in the very near future, perhaps as early as this weekend on World Championship Wrestling. So we knew that you wanted to see this match to give it its due. In 60 minutes, they had to have their time limit. They had to have the opportunity. And if we do not have time, next Saturday at 7:05 Eastern Time, we will bring you Lex Luger's match with Jack Victory for the U.S. title and the Stinger's first television title defense as well.
Well, I'll tune in at 7:05.
Big chop by Flair, put Steamboat on his backside. This one has been real physical. I thought it would maybe in the second fall before it really broke loose. But it is, I mean, a very physical situation already.
Very, very physical. I don't think that they could keep this pace up for a real long time. Oh. Oh. Dadgummit, Jim. Talk about chops. Whoa, another one. Steamboat's on top again. Two count.
Referee, that was great officiating there by Tommy Young, who got the best position he could to see it, but he had to leave the ring to do it. Great officiating there. And Flair now out on the ring apron. Can you feel those chops? You've been in the ring with this guy. Can you feel those setting in?
I know exactly how they feel. Believe me, they'll go in after 5 or 6 of those. It'll take it right out of you. You'll wonder why in the world you decided to get into that ring and become a professional wrestler.
High vertical suplex followed by a big splash, but Flair pulled the knees up.
Desperation move by Flair, and a very smart one at that time, Jim Ross. Both men are down. Let's see if Flair can come up and take some advantage of the situation. Flair's coming to his feet first, Jim Ross. Steamboat's pulling up by the ropes. Both of them are back to their feet.
There goes in another chop. I mean, the people here are in awe of the physical nature of this event. We certainly appreciate you being with us here on Superstation TBS, and just both feet right into the stomach. Steamboat, remember, came down on Flair's knees. That started the downslide for Steamboat, and now the momentum has swung back into the favor of the challenger.
That sounds so funny saying challenger Ric Flair. It just doesn't sound right to me, Jim. He's been such a great champion for so many years, and Steamboat, he's been such a great challenger, and now the thing has totally switched. It's Flair is the challenger and Steamboat the champion.
Double arm suplex into the lateral press. Flair's got the leg grapevine, trying to hold Steamboat down. Steamboat's left shoulder keeps coming up. Flair's having a hard time keeping it on the canvas. He's got great technique, does Flair. Now, another pinning predicament, almost an amateur-like move.
Almost like a three-quarters Nelson there. Very close to it. You know, I just absolutely love wrestling of this caliber. Now, this is professional wrestling right here at its greatest. This is the best that you can see.
This is the National Wrestling Alliance. And as the legends of the game look on, 2 modern-day legends are competing for all they've got for the richest prize in this sport. And Flair is doing all he can to hold Steamboat down. He has just been unable to do that. The champion is so resilient, just refusing to be pinned.
Determination and attitude, Jim. That's what that is, determination and attitude. It's amazing what you can withstand when your body really gets hot, your mind starts going, your heart starts pumping, and your desire enters into the thing of accomplishing something that you've always wanted to do.
You're right, Terry. Nice kept up by Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Test of strength here, and as Terry Funk mentioned, fans, both these men are very, very even, very comparable in regarding strength. It's going to be a game of leverage, an opportunity. Gosh, they just exchange it.
What can you say except ouch? Is that right or no? Oh.
Flair caught out of the corner by Steamboat, who missed the drop kick. First big mistake that Steamboat has made in this contest. Now we'll see if Flair can capitalize on it. Looks like he's...
There's a great hold right there, the spinning toe. Small package, 2 count.
Flair's got him on his back.
That's it. That's it.
Flair reversed the inside cradle.
Ladies and gentlemen, in 19 minutes and 33 seconds, the winner of the first fall, Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
Fans, we will be back with the second fall of the Heavyweight Championship of the World in 60 seconds. Back, Jim Ross and Terry Funk here at ringside in the Superdome in New Orleans, coming to you live. This is the second fall of the Heavyweight Championship of the World, and the challenger, the Nature Boy, has won the first fall, and that has got to change the strategy immensely. We talked a lot about that, Terry, earlier.
That's right. You know, I watched between falls, too, where Ricky Steamboat was a bit disgusted with himself. He was kicking the bottom rope. He can't let that happen, Jim. He can't get disgusted with himself at this point. He's got to keep his mind clear, not forget what he came to do, is to retain that NWA championship, and he's got to be aggressive now.
When you beat one of my fellow Oklahomans, Jack Briscoe, for the world's title, did you do it 2 out of 3 falls, or was it 1 fall?
It was a 1-fall match.
But you have wrestled him many, all the top challengers on a 2 out of 3 fall situations many times as a champion.
Yes, I have, Jim. I've wrestled as a champion in 2 out of 3 1-hour time limit matches. And the thing that you got to remember there is an hour is a long time. You somewhat try to pace yourself, try to take advantage of mistakes. But these guys are going so fast and so hard. There is no pacing. It's just very, very physical. Steamboat up on the top rope.
He's going to try to even it up right here as quickly as he can. Big chop right on the head. Steamboat has got Flair, and I thought he had him. I thought he had him, and we had 2.5 there. Steamboat starting out very quickly, and as Terry Funk so adeptly mentioned, Steamboat was very frustrated during the 1-minute break that we had, and he's starting out very aggressively here, that front face lock.
He's got plenty of time. He has to remember that. Don't get too aggressive. You push yourself too hard and you'll make a mistake, and it might see too straight in Flair's favor. Beautiful back suplex by Ric Flair.
Certainly was. Great counter wrestling by the 5 times champion of the world. I'm sure that all of the ladies of the game, I know my colleague here is enjoying this. This is the best seat in the house, isn't it? But your brother, Sam Munchnick also, and Lou Thez, Buddy Rogers, Pat O'Connor, Big Thunder, Gene Kaninsky, everybody's having a great time. And this is the kind of match that made the NWA what it is.
This match reminds me of the great matches with Dory Funk Jr. against Jack Briscoe. The matches like Lou Thez against Pat O'Connor, Pat O'Connor against Buddy Rogers. These were classic matches. And this match right here is that same caliber match. Oh.
He went to the well, and it was dry, as they say. Flair punishing that knee, and Steamboat going right to work now on the other leg, dropping the elbows in there relentlessly. Man, he's dropped 6 or 8 elbows right to the knee and to the thigh muscle by Flair.
8, 9, 10.
Well, to say this is going to lessen Flair's mobility, it'd be a drastic understatement. He may not even be able to stand
He just won't stop. He just keeps on going and going and going, working on that knee. Figure 4, he's going to use Flair's own hold and hooked him with his own hold.
He's got him hooked in the figure 4.
He has this one set and set good. Jim, this is going to be a fall right here. He's too far from the ropes. He's in the center of the ring. He can't withstand that pain for a long time. Flair better remember, he's one up. He loses one, they're just even.
Flair's shoulders are down. He's in a great deal of pain. Steamboat knocks him back on his back. The Funk Brothers were legendary with a spinning toe hold. But this puts a little different pressure. I've been told it puts pressure at 5 different points of the legs. I've never had it applied to me, so I don't really want to know that badly, but I'd like to take your word for it.
Well, I don't know if I want to show it to you either, don't you?
Flair reaches for the ropes. That's his salvation right there, Terry. I'll tell you something. He's
hurting right now.
Yeah,
I can hear him right now.
You sure can. That's a big turning point in this match. Brings him down very gingerly. And Steamboat trying to go again with a figure 4. Now turns him over to a Boston Crab.
Nice move on Steamboat's part there. Flair thought he was going to kick him off, and Steamboat grabbed both those legs, reversed it into a Boston Crab, putting the pressure back on those legs again, Jim.
I've often wondered since Flair's pain about 2 years ago or so if this back may not be one of his weak links because he did suffer a broken back in that airplane crash. I wonder, I don't know that conclusively, obviously, but this whole strong back or weak back is deadly.
Strong or weak back. Flair seems to be trying to get to those ropes again, and wisely so. He's got his head out from underneath those ropes. That referee should call for it.
Sure should. He's underneath the ropes. He's calling for it.
Oh, God!
The challenger, with one fall to his credit, is in tremendous pain here.
If Flair was smart, he would roll out on that floor, take that 15, 18 count, come on back in the ring and do it again.
He made his mental capabilities may be really limited right now. That pain's going to be shooting through his body. Steamboat comes back in with a vengeance. The heavyweight champion of the world down one fall. In this 2 out of 3 fall event, if you just joined us, we are coming to you live from the Superdome. This is the Clash of Champions 6 with Jim Ross and Terry Funk at ringside.
Think, Steamboat, think. How did you get to where you are now? Go back to that leg. You understand that, Jim? Go back to that leg. He needs to think leg.
Very good point. Flair trying to fight back. That chop has been a tremendous weapon for him as he shoves Steamboat down to one knee. Gosh. Upstairs and downstairs. They have no regard for their own bodies and even less for their opponents. Steamboat trying to reverse out of with a head scissors.
Well, you know, if I was going to be a millionaire overnight, I guess I wouldn't have too much concern for my body either, Jim.
Flair's got him in a pinning predicament. I think he got a point there. Steamboat, look at the strength of Steamboat, bridging up with Flair on top of him.
Oh, watch out. Here comes a backslide. If Steamboat can overpower Flair, he can pull him down into a backslide. And if he can keep him down there for that 3 count, we'll have it evened up.
He's got him down. I thought he had it. We're looking again at a 2.5, and Flair rolls outside, which may be the safest place for him. But now he's got Steamboat out there with him. He sends Steamboat into the metal railing. That steel railing around the ring, the security railing. And now slams him out here. Flair's pulling out all the stops. I don't want to say it'd be an upset, but it would certainly be a major shock for Flair to win 2 straight falls here.
It could very easily happen right now. Very easily happen.
Referee Tommy Young trying to maintain law and order here, which is extremely difficult to do. Flair sends Steamboat to the railing again. the title by one arm. Flair limps back to the ring. I don't know what the ruling, what's the ruling if Steamboat's counted out here? What would that be?
2 straight. 2 straight.
New champion?
New champion right there. Here comes the count right now. Steamboat's back up to his feet, though. I think he can go ahead and come back in the ring. Not think, I know that he can. He's standing now. He's trying to get a little bit rested, but he's in pain. It looks as if that shoulder's in pain. He drove him into that railing about twice while he was on the floor there. I felt that Tommy Young should have been a little bit more aggressive there, although I feel that the referee is doing an excellent job.
As do I. We've had a little controversy regarding the officiating today. New World Tag Team Champions crown. I think perhaps because of a bad call, but needless to say, Flair, great Steamboat coming in, it jerks his neck down across the top rope. These guys have competed so hard.
Steamboat on the apron right now. That is a very dangerous place to be. You've got about a 5-foot drop right behind you, 1 foot. I've seen a lot of wrestlers injured right at this point by going off that apron right there backwards. It's a bad position for Steamboat to be in right now, and Flair's coming back on top of him again.
30 minutes have elapsed. 30 minutes.
Get off of that apron.
30 minutes have elapsed in this one. We're halfway there.
It seems like they've been going at it about 5 minutes, doesn't it? Doesn't seem like we've been out here very long. Vertical suplex. Flair's got him high in the air.
Nice move. This could be all. New championship of the world, and we're that far. You saw the hand. It was coming down. Ending vertical suplex, and we were just so close. Flair's got to be one of the most mentally tough athletes I've ever been around in any sport. Needless to say, his physical
Dominable
toughness.
stretch. Right here, he's got him in that stretch. Going for the pinning position now. Oklahoma crossbody ride. Very difficult to get that shoulder up.
Look how close. Steamboat is just barely able to get that left shoulder up. Referee the 2 count. Gosh, I'll tell you something. This is... Flair's stretching him out there. Great amateur move.
Switches right around, going for that pin again. Also using the ropes right there to his advantage.
Flair taking a shortcut here. And you can probably count that he's going to take any shortcut that he can. He wins this fall, he's the new world's heavyweight champion. Not too cordial to the fans here at ringside.
No, he isn't. Straight fist.
Another right hand.
Flair can afford to push the rules right now. You know that he's got a 1-fall advantage.
Well, here in the state of Louisiana, the Athletic Commission in their rule book, the winner of 1 fall or 2 out of 3 fall match wins the title.
There's a beautiful roll-up. 1.
Flair kicks out. Steamboat almost out to the floor, holding himself up by the leg, reaching back, trying to get the bottom rope, and he does so. Comes back into the ring. Single leg pickup. Back heel trip by Steamboat. On top, 1, 2, and Flair kicks out. Steamboat catches him coming in. Sends Flair for the ride, but Flair just punted him.
He punted him about 35 yards there and chopped him another 10. So we've got a 55-yard gainer right there.
Lateral press. Steamboat is inches away from losing the world's title. Flair has got things going his way. And the crowd, it's like the 6th man in basketball. They got to get involved. As far as Steamboat is concerned, Flair going up top.
He's all the way up top.
On that bad leg may not be the smartest thing to do. Oh, gosh. That'll put you in the tender section. Ooh. Big chop there right to the chest. And now Steamboat up on top.
Superplex, superplex. This is going to be it, Jim. Flair won't get up from that one.
Superplex by the Dragon. momentum has changed once again as Steamboat comes down on the small of the back of Ric Flair. Remember, I mentioned about the airplane crash years ago, but when you have a severely broken back, how much can it heal in this sport? We're not talking about a CPA here. Steamboat working on the lower back. Man, he's focused now, as they say in Wall Street.
Boy, he is focused in on it, driving forearms. Here's a double chicken wing, picks him up into the air right there. That is a double chicken wing there. Let me tell you something. You're talking about the figure 4 leg lock hurting. That right there hurts. Dislocates your shoulders, pulls on your back at the same time, and that's it.
He gave it up. A double chicken wing. Flair has submitted to the Dragon. And now we will go to the climactic third and final fall.
Gentlemen, in 34 minutes, 14 seconds of total match time, the winner of the second fall, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with a third fall. All the marbles in 60 seconds. And we're back here, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the third and deciding fall from the Superdome. Flair barely able to make his way up to his feet.
He laid on that mat between the entire fall, finally made it back up to his feet, and he's back down again now. His back's in a great deal of pain. That's how you take a knee out right there.
That's 15 yards.
You bet that's 15 yards.
35.
Steamboat with a chop. He's fighting back. I tell you what, it's anybody's ball game now. Each man with one fall each. And they're still chopping.
How much time is left in this match? How much time is left in this match, Jim? There's a 2 count, had that leg grapevine again.
25 minutes left, 25 left in the match, we're informed by our timekeeper.
Flair's got plenty of time then.
Both men have plenty of time, but I think perhaps Flair, I don't know, I thought he would be at a disadvantage after that chicken wing suplex. He had a hard time getting up. The Dragon really dominated the second fall.
He did.
He came out really mentally, just like he was not going to be denied.
Driving forearms and a turnbuckle. Beautiful black backdrop by the Dragon right there. That hurt his back again. Watch Flair now. He's down on that mat again with that back.
Steamboat chopping at the back. Flair with another thunderous chop. Flair's having his mobility is extremely limited at this point. Steamboat with a side headlock. And Flair will come down. Steamboat's shin right across Flair's leg. And indeed, the master of the figure 4 may have that on his mind now, Terry. We've seen him win several matches with a figure 4. Hundreds, as a matter of fact.
Smart move on Ric Flair's part. I've seen him use that move time and time again. Here it goes right here. He's going for the figure 4. Jim, he's got it hooked.
He's got it locked in there. Steamboat quickly goes to the ropes. That will necessitate a break. And the referee, he untangled the legs, which is a good part of the officiating. Flair up right in the referee's face.
Flair, he better not touch that referee, because if he does, he won't be the new world champion.
That's right. That's exactly right. As he kicks Steamboat right in the leg. Flair has said many times that he could be, when he wants to be, the dirtiest player in the game. And right now, he's going to try to take the knee out of Ricky Steamboat. And he's just dragging his leg. Look at Steamboat's left leg, fans at home. It was just dragging it behind him. Tremendous chop, and Steamboat fights back. Flair goes downstairs. Steamboat chops him back again. Flair from behind. Double chop.
Double chop. Every one of those are legal punches right there and legal chops. With the flat of the hand.
Big right hand by Steamboat. Now he's going to send Flair for the right.
Whoa, here he comes.
That's going to, and he got him out with a clothesline. Flair, his back just, the impact in the corner was
Steamboat was waiting for him that time. Flair's down.
Now Flair is counted out. Steamboat's going to retain the title. As Flair trying to roll back into the ring. Well, you can see the desire, the determination in his face as these men have competed with all the fervor. He says, hold on. It's like calling a timeout.
Steamboat, get on top of him right now.
Flair's got his feet on the ropes. He's got his feet on the ropes there, Reb. Everybody in the free world can see it, but the guy in the blue shirt.
Army Young had better get around there.
Oh, gosh, he almost knocked him over the ropes.
You can see it in both of their eyes, that look that says, I am not going to quit. I am going to keep on going. I am better than this man. Both of them think it. Whoa.
High wrist, missed that one. Flair caught him coming down the face, or kick right to the face. I'll tell you something. These guys have got like, I'm not exactly sure, I think like 20 minutes remaining in this time limit, if I'm not mistaken.
Double forearm to the back of Steamboat.
Fans, if you just joined us,
how many times has it switched back and forth to one man's advantage? Time after time.
More times than we can count. Flair won the first ball.
There are 20 minutes remaining to time limit.
20 minutes remain. 40 minutes have elapsed. Flair took the first ball, reversing the inside cradle. Steamboat won the second ball with a double chicken wing. And, the dragon upstairs. His leg is hung there. He's going to turn his knee right there. Steamboat's leg was caught under the top turnbuckle. He's going to tear his knee out right there. And now Flair doesn't take advantage of this opportunity. I'm going to be very surprised.
With all that happens to that knee and then that miss right there, and now Flair's on top of it again. Flair can smell it, you know, he's like a dog right there. He can smell it. He can smell the kill right now.
He's on the trail, the title trail.
He's on the trail, the title trail. I like that.
Brings him out. And now let's see if Flair will go to work on that leg. All great champions, contenders, great talented performers like a Ric Flair know they can sense when their opponent is in big trouble. He may not go back upstairs the rest of the match. I think he's gonna stay on the legs for as long as he possibly can, Terry.
That's exactly where he'll be. It looks like that. He's got the advantage right now, and he's going to continue with it. Well, you see that step into that spinning toe hold and into the figure four. Well, I am telling you, Jim, they are in the middle of the ring. I said it once before that there was no way that they could ever possibly make the ropes. And I truly believe that again right now. I think that this is it.
This is the crowd. They're getting behind the Dragon, chanting Steamboat, Steamboat, stomping their feet, clapping their hands. Steamboat said Friday night here on our program, the best preparation for the figure four was mental. No matter how many stadium steps you ran, no matter how much weight you could do, when someone got it on you, it became mental. How much pain could you take? And we're going to check Ricky the Dragon Steamboat's whole card right here.
We're checking him right now. He showed me a whole lot of moxie, a whole lot of guts so far in this match. They're slapping each other. Steamboat would love to go ahead and get out of this thing right now. He's not going to give up. I'll tell you what, he will not give up.
Former champion Buddy Rogers used that maneuver for many, many years, very successfully. I'm sure he's pleased to see Ric Flair has perpetrated that legacy.
Whenever you say you give up, you know, in this particular match, it's like saying, I give you the world's championship. That's very hard to do. That's very hard to say. Especially when you're on top like Steamboat is right now.
You're right, Terry. I'll tell you something. I've seen guys pass out from this. I'm sure you have too. Absolutely black out due to the pain. Fans, as we mentioned, if you just joined us, if time permits, we will bring you the U.S. Championship match with Lex Luger and Jack Victory and the television title match featuring the Stinger. If we do not have that time, we will bring you those matches this Saturday on Superstation TBS at 7:05 Eastern Time. Steamboat's trying to roll him over. pressure on Flair's leg as well. They're under the ropes. Referee's trying to untangle their legs. Well, they roll all the way off the, well, they got them broke, thank goodness. Flair continues to work on Steamboat's leg.
Tommy Young cautioning him right here. He's warning him time after time there to go ahead and get off of him while he's on that floor. Steamboat is on that apron.
Flair takes it right to the limits, right to the edge. He doesn't want to get disqualified, obviously.
Steamboat has to start thinking time. He has to start thinking time. How much time is left in this match? Can I continue? His leg is hurt now. Look at him. He's chopping him, but he's hanging on with just one leg. He's chopping off of one leg right now.
Big chop by Steamboat. Time is in the favor of the champion in this type situation. They both have one fall each, and Flair upside down above us. This time he goes down the apron to the top rope and comes off high cross body. Can he hold him down? 1, 2, and 2 3/4.
Was that 3 or 2?
That was 2 3/4. I'm talking a few inches.
Boy, I thought that was it that time, Jim. I thought that was it. It was awful, awful close.
Flair went for it all right there. We talk about high-risk type wrestling. He went for it all, but Steamboat can't hold him. The leg buckled. Flair's on top, and he got a 2 count out of it.
15 minutes remain in time limit.
They've wrestled 45 minutes. 15 minutes remain. Flair misses with the elbow. Steamboat does a big headbutt.
Flying headbutt right there.
Chops him right in the head. Steamboat trying to shake it loose. His leg's not going to be the same for a few days. He's got to worry. He's got to be 15 minutes. A guts right here. A gut check for the champion. He goes on top.
Going up that top rope with that bad leg. Here he comes off that top rope. Flying body press.
He beat him this before. And Flair barely got that shoulder up. That left shoulder was up by inches.
That was so close, Jim. So close.
Steamboat missed with the elbow. Flair sensed what was happening and rolled out of the way. 15 minutes and counting. Can Steamboat's leg hold out the duration of this match? Or can Ric Flair put together the winning combination in the next 12 or 13 minutes? This one has been all it was billed to be. Flair won the first fall. Steamboat came back and took the second. But right now it's the challenger with the momentum as he sends Steamboat for the ride. Oh, he got a
Reverse neck breaker. Reverse neck breaker. Got him cradled for that pin.
Flair powers out.
2 count, Jim.
Man, what mental toughness displayed by the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion and a man that many people consider one of the greatest, if not the greatest, heavyweight champions of all time. I know that's a great debatable subject, but Flair, 5-time champion, has got to be considered as one of the all-time greats.
As one. It's very difficult to say the.
And I won't say that, my friend, because we're in great company here. The list goes on and on for those champions. Steamboat goes on the top.
Beautiful sunset flip right there. He's trying to pull Flair back down. Flair's trying to hang on, trying to get those ropes. Is he going to grab a hold of that rope or not?
Steamboat trying to get him over, finally does. He's got his feet on his arms, and he can't hold him down. Boy, the fatigue factor has got to be becoming a major influence in this match. Big tackle, I mean a tough tackle by Steamboat on Flair. And Flair.
Sleeper hold, sleeper hold.
Flair's got the sleeper on him. Steamboat's carrying him around. I haven't seen Flair use this sleeper, Terry, in a long time, but Steamboat carrying him around on his back,
That's a feat in itself at this time. Whenever you're there trying to gasp for air, even breathing at 46 minutes or 15 minutes is tremendously hard, but having somebody cutting off your air, that's whenever it really gets difficult. Look at his eyes, they look as if they're glassing.
Steamboat's eyes, you can look into his face and see that he is rapidly losing consciousness. His arm goes down once. It goes down twice. I guess that's going to... Wait a minute. Steamboat's got his hand up. The referee was close to ringing the bell. He was within seconds away of ringing the bell. He was walking this way.
Walking this way. Well, that sleeper hold cuts the blood off. It cuts that carotid artery off right there. And once you go, I mean, you go and you're out. There's nothing that you can do about it when you finally black out. Very difficult to put this on a wrestler, though. That's what they work on their necks continuously.
Flair with a sleeper.
I can't believe that he's still on his feet.
He just got back up to a vertical base, trying to relieve the pressure. And Flair went face first into the top turnbuckle. He falls out of the ring. And once again, it looked as if Flair had things going his way. Steamboat's trying to shake it loose, get that adrenaline pumping. It takes a tremendous amount of heart and desire. There's no way, I don't think there's any way either one of these men would submit now. I don't think if Flair got the...
I don't think they could.
There's no way.
Come in here with a hatchet or a gun or whatever you want to, and they still wouldn't submit. Flair's coming up behind him. Steamboat doesn't know he's there. Kicks him in that leg again. Nice move by Rick's part. Came right back to that one point. He knows that if he's...
Karate kick to the back of the head.
Was that a surprise to me, Jim?
Me too, Terry. And I'll tell you something. I thought Flair was going to set him for the figure four once again. And Steamboat rolls him over. He's got the leg grapevine, and he can't hold him down. As we said, the fatigue factor in this match has got to be paramount because there's 10 minutes left in the time limit. They have wrestled. And I'm not talking about coming out to music and walking around the ring and posing. I'm talking about wrestling for 50 minutes.
Hold for hold, chop for chop, and move for move. I just can't get over this. I am so excited about this match, Jim. I'm telling you, this is the best match that I have seen. You know, and I've been around for a long time, Jim. This is one of the truly greatest championship matches ever. If this isn't the match of the year, I don't know. You might say Chi-Town Rumble was, but to me, this one is right here.
They've gone longer. They've competed harder. I agree with you. We're 9 minutes away from time limit. The question is now, the Steamboat strategy may be, Terry, just to hold on to the belt. A draw at this point is as good as a win for him.
Steamboat, if he was smart, he would start looking for a way. There he is. He's backing up right now. It looks as if he's backing up. Is he going to go out from underneath the ropes? No, he isn't. I wouldn't blame him. You know, I don't think that there's a person in this arena that knows that the stakes that are on. Let's go ahead. Get out of the ring if you have to. You're risking a tremendous amount of money by staying in the ring, Steamboat.
Flair now opening up on Steamboat again. The slugfest. What competitive fires burn in the bodies of these two athletes. Steamboat barely able to stand. Flair just shoves him down.
I love both of their attitudes. Never say die, either one of them, Jim.
There with another big thunderous chop. Look at Steamboat. Look at his, he's got a glazed over look in his eye. Look at his leg. Look at his left leg. His left leg is virtually like just limp. Look how loose the knee is.
You bet it is. He can't even walk on it.
Look at his leg.
But he just keeps on coming back.
They will not quit.
I love it. I love it. What a tremendous match this is. What a great wrestling match. What great competitor. I don't care what sport you're talking about. These are two of the greatest athletes, bar none, in the world today, Jim Ross.
Steamboat now is not laying back. He is not being passive. He is not going to go outside. He's not going to kill time.
He's crazy.
He wants to compete.
He's crazy.
He wants to pin Flair one more time, obviously. But I don't know how sound the judgment. I just don't know. Flair is a master of turning things around. Steamboat with a clothesline. He blocked the atomic drop. He's got a lateral press on Flair, and Flair's foot's on the top of the bottom rope.
This is not a championship at stake now. It's personal. It is personal pride on both men's parts right here.
A lot of pride. Indeed, you are right. Steamboat sends Flair for the ride, but Flair counters with an elbow to the back of the head. And now Flair with a big suplex. Japanese suplex there, Terry. Got it way up on his shoulder before he came back with it.
How much time is left in this match? Flair had better start going for those pins.
6 minutes left, I've been informed.
6 minutes, and if I was Steamboat, I don't know what I'd be doing.
Flair now. Will he go up top for the high risk? I'm surprised he didn't put the figure 4.
6 minutes remaining.
Flair up top. Steamboat trying to knock him off the ropes with all he's got. And this was the mistake that perhaps Flair made up on top.
Oh, my gosh. That was a 10-foot slam off the top rope.
Flair body slammed off the top rope. Once again punishing his back. And
The double arm chicken wing. The double arm chicken wing. He's got him. He fell back.
He can't hold him.
He's got Flair. He's got Steamboat. Flair had Steamboat's shoulders to the mat. Or did
Steamboat has won it.
Steamboat had Flair's shoulders to the mat. He had his shoulders to the mat. Steamboat retained the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. What a great match.
54 minutes.
You know, I couldn't tell there. I don't know. Was Flair's shoulders down too, or what?
He's complaining that his foot was there. Look, he's telling the referee his foot was on the bottom rope. I did not see that.
I didn't see it either, but the referee counted to 3. He was right there. I'm sure he's right.
Let's take a look at it, Terry, in slow motion right here. Flair went to the top. Yes, indeed, it was high risk. He was going to come off on Steamboat. And look at that slam.
Whoa.
All the way across the ring. Flair was complaining vehemently moments ago that his foot was underneath the bottom rope. Now Steamboat goes to the double chicken wing, but his leg buckles.
His leg buckles. That bad leg buckles. There it went right there. There's
Who's
1,
pinned?
2.
I can't see Flair's leg from this point. We're gonna go. I'm gonna talk
I
to the
can't
champion.
tell.
Terry, thanks for being with us.
I can't tell. It was a pleasure being here for the greatest match of the year. I'm telling you, Jim.
We'll be back for the champion. Don't go away. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here in the Superdome near the dressing room area. I want to congratulate you, Ricky. That was almost 55 minutes, as grueling of action as I have ever seen. Congratulations, champ, on retaining the World's Championship.
Thank you very much, Jim Ross. And I also would like to thank the TBS for giving me this opportunity. I'd like to thank all the fans for the support that they give me, and even the Ric Flair fans out there. I know he's got a bunch of them. But as you know, I have beat Ric Flair in Chicago on February the 20th, successfully defended against that man here, both of them being national coverage, him giving me a chance at it, and me, and so to speak, of this business returning the favor. But I've got to tell you, Ric Flair, like I have said, that we must move on. You've had a great era as a world champion. And I'd like to say that there are top contenders throughout the world out there right now that the people from Turner have told me about. And I must move on to bigger horizons, brighter horizons. I don't know, but as a champion, I must respect these other fellow contenders.
Well, I want to tell you something, Ricky. We did have a lot of controversy there. Flair claimed that his foot was under the ropes. We have a couple of different angles from our cameras. Let's roll the videotape and take a look at that situation, fans, and see if we can tell that conclusively. I could not on our first angle. Let's roll the videotape now. And so as we look at it right here, this is where he has you have the chicken wing on him.
This is a double chicken wing, Jim Ross. This is a submission hold. This is something secret that I've been working on. You can see 1, 2, 3. Right from this particular angle, we cannot actually see if his foot had slid. Now here's a different angle.
Here's the reverse angle, the reverse angle. Let's look at it here.
This puts a lot of pressure across the shoulder blades and the lower back. My leg had given out at this point, but I had another move to where I could put his shoulders down. Okay, right then and there. I see it. I see it where Ric Flair's foot is underneath that bottom rope. The referee couldn't see it, but as you know, things like that happen in our business.
Well, you know, in sports, you talk about sports officiating, they call it the human element, but I think that I have been informed through my IFB that Flair has become very irate. The NWA, Jim Herd, Executive Vice President of World Championship Wrestling, and I'm sure the board, I have been told, will make an inquiry to this situation. I think it's unheard of. You are the champion. You did get your hand raised. But Flair perhaps does have a very legitimate gripe, Ricky. His foot was under the bottom rope, it would seem, on that angle.
You know something, Jim Ross? Seeing the angle here, right here on television, I would have to say that if I was in that position, that I would have some grounds to go see my lawyer, to talk to Jim Herd, to talk to TBS, to talk to the promotion, and do something about it. I feel that that man out there, I hate to say it, has got a legitimate reason.
Well, let's take another look at it here, fans. Again, let's take a look at that reverse angle that we talked about. As we're looking at it on the monitor for the first time, as are you. Look at it right here. Ricky had him up on the double chicken wing. The leg buckled. But let's look at Flair's right leg. That's the key right here. Flair's right leg, indeed, it is under the bottom rope. So Nature Boy Ric Flair definitely has a complaint, I would say, and very legitimately so.
I'm sure that we're going to be hearing from his lawyers. Although the way I look at things, if you pin a man's shoulders to the mat on the count of 1, 2, 3, that makes you the better person.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be discussing this, I'm sure, in board meetings all through the week. Join us this Saturday at 7:05 Eastern Time. We'll talk more about this situation. Thanks from New Orleans, and so long.